Now that you have your Training Peaks account all set up and configured, the first thing that you're going to want to input are the events and goals that you want to work towards. Now, the more you use Training Peaks, the more, I'll say smart, more smart, the smarter goals you can set for yourself. And not to spend too much time talking about SMART goals, but if you're unfamiliar with the term, it is an acronym that stands for specific. So are your goals specific, measurable, attainable, relevant, and time bound? So what's your deadline? Now, unpacking those really quickly. Specific, obviously, if your goal is to complete an event, that's not too bad. You have, you cross the finish line, you can tick that box. Usually, though, people kind of go, oh, I just want to get better at swimming or cycling or running or whatever sport you want to improve at, and that would not be very specific. What does get better mean? Now, using this platform, I will show you how I've set all my goals for the 2023 season, all the metrics, charts, analytics that you can go through to really set good goals for yourself. The next one is M, which is measurable, kind of riffs off the specific acronym, where can you measure it? Now, what does better mean? Does that mean a better FTP? Does that mean you can hold a better pace? Are you specifically stronger in something? So again, can you measure it? Next one is attainable. Does it make sense for you to be able to achieve it? Obviously, if, for example, you are currently riding at a 200 FTP and you want to achieve a 300 FTP by next week, probably not attainable. So not a very good goal. And again, you can use the analytics to really inform how you progress, at what rate, and be very, I'll say, set goals that are going to be realistic that you can attain. Next is relevant. I want to do 100 push-ups by next month. Is that going to make me a better cyclist? Probably not. So does it make sense? Does the goal make sense to achieve your, and I'll say long-term goal, which I'll talk about in a second as well. And the last one is time-bound. What is your deadline? We all know that if you don't put a time parameter around it, we usually procrastinate and never achieve it. So when does it make sense to achieve that goal? Now, this kind of leads into the long-term and short-term goals. Usually the long-term goal is the first thing that you are going to create. I want to, and it's usually around an event or something that big you want to do. And then it's really important to break that long-term goal up into a number of short-term goals. Not only does it allow you to celebrate successes along the road to achieve that long-term goal, but it also informs whether you're on track to actually achieve it or not. And goals can be fluid. They can change. If you get to your deadline and you're not quite there, then it's really good to reevaluate, and you may need to push that all the way down the road to your long-term goal. But in the end, at least you're working towards something, and more than likely you will achieve it. So if you want to put in events and goals into Training Peaks, we'll flip over to that now. It is found in the Home tab. So when you click on Home, you'll get to this page that looks like this. Yours may be a little more empty. And if you click on the plus sign in events, that will open up this dialog box where you can name the event, put the date, which makes it time bound, select what it is, and then make any other notes. If you want to put specific goals around that event, you can do that as well. Then when you scroll down, you will see all the goals. It will be the same process, clicking on the plus button. You can name these different things, long-term goals, short-term goals. Again, you're going to put a date on it, and you can actually outline a number of goals. So if I term this one long-term goals, I could put a number of goals in there, or maybe I only have one long-term goal, but I have a number of short-term goals that will get me to that long-term goal. So I would say this is one of the most important things to do first, so that at least you have a direction in which your training will work towards. If you're working with a coach, this would be great to do together. And once it's locked in, it will show up on your calendar. So if you flip over to the calendar view, once you put your goals in there, if I scroll down here, I think my first goal was at the end of February. Yep, here it is. I just threw in a little race sim where there are no races going on, but I'd love to check my fitness level. I have put some goals in and around that race sim that I would like to achieve. And like I said, the next tutorial will be me going into depth of how I've created those goals, what analytics I've looked at, and how to achieve this in Training Peaks for you going forward. So check that one out. It'll be a little bit longer, a little bit more involved, but definitely will put context around how to use this platform as a tool to really inform your training going forward. And I will say, keep you on track so that you can reach that next level. Stay tuned for that one.